Hello world, and welcome to Elevated Intuition. Today we are going to look at what makes you so attractive. So those qualities that maybe, you don't even realize about yourself that other people are noticing. This is with the intent to maybe to be more confident in yourself and what you bring to the table, and to help you understand maybe what other people are seeing about you, to see what you're projecting out there for others to see. So I have four possibilities, four piles for us today. This is a pick a card reading, so you get to pick the number, pile, or object. I'll be placing objects here in a moment that resonates with you. You use your intuition to pick that. Then I've got the timestamps down below in our description. You click on that timestamp, and then I use my intuition to read the cards for you. So for group number one, if you're interested in picking with objects, group number one, the object for that is this beautiful Apatite heart. So I'm just going to put that right here. I'll put it above. For group number two, this is Carnelian Agate. For group number three, this is Caribbean Calcite. And yeah, I went with hearts on all of them. And because I feel like we need to love ourselves more. Let's do some more self-love here and more self-appreciation. So, off my soapbox. For group number four, this is Fossilized coral. I don't know why I always bunk at that word coral. So here are our hearts for self-love, for self-appreciation, to see ourselves hopefully in a new way, and appreciate ourselves. And if you're still not sure which pile is for you, I always do a breathing exercise in my pick a card readings, and you're welcome to do that with me. I'm just gonna find a comfortable seat. Go ahead and close my eyes and take a deep breath in. And exhale. We just really want to exhale all the anxiety, all of our tension. We need to set the intention that you are here to learn something, that you are getting to get the message that you're supposed to receive at this time. Okay, as we're breathing here. And out, just one more big inhale. And exhale. Okay, I feel good. Let's set this intention. Go ahead and open your eyes. Wherever your eyes are drawn towards, whichever number or object, that's the pile for you, and I will meet you at your reading. Thank you. Hello, group one. If you picked the Apatite crystal, you are in the right spot. And the first cards that come out for you, I actually was going to pull one, but both of these came out. And it's interesting because they're very similar. Although Bastet is a goddess, is Egyptian goddess, and Circe is from Greek mythology. Both of them are very powerful women. They both project themselves as kind and loving and motherly, but these are people you don't want to cross. Bastet, she has that connection to the feline there, so you might have a connection to animals, if not cats itself, but she's very like playful and cat-like, like a house cat. But on the, she can be a beast. She can be a lioness if she needs to be. And Circe, she's from the Odysseus. What is that? The Odyssey? From those myths. She was a sea nymph. Both are very connected with nature, especially Circe. Circe does potions, and she's the one who turned Odysseus's men into pigs because they were jerks to her. So, and then Odysseus comes in and, wants the release of them, so she negotiates that, and there's more to it. He stays and he becomes her lover. So there is also like a seductiveness, a seductive nature. But when he wanted to leave, she let him leave. So, so for you, very playful, loving connection with nature, connection with animals, but not somebody that you want to cross. You know, you put people in their place if they need to be. However, that's not like the first impression. The first impression is very kind and lovely and loving, but don't cross you. Let's see what else comes out. What else can we talk about for group 1 that makes them so attractive? Group 1 so attractive. Okay, the Emperor. A lot of boss energy here. I knew I was going to get that when we get, you know, these powerful. This is the Witches of Legend deck, so we have people that powerful. The Emperor is not a surprise. Ooh. Okay. Throwing me off with the 2 cards. I need to make sure I can get all of these in here so you can see them. What else for group 1? Ooh. So we'll take the King of Swords and then also the King of Pentacles. So again, a lot of boss energy here. You probably have the capacity to really work in a high power job, to take on a lot of responsibility. Good with money. The Emperor is, and it's really interesting too. I mean, I knew I was going to get feminine energy from this deck here, but when we get so much masculine energy coming in, and we all have masculine and feminine energy. This has nothing to do with gender. This has to do with you know, stepping up and taking control of a situation. So while I almost feel like some people like may try to take advantage of you because you seem nice and kind and loving at first blush, but you definitely give the energy that you receive. And I think there's something more underneath the surface. You have a depth to you that people just don't, that you only allow special people to see. It's not like on the surface, like perfectly normal, beautiful person. Like you do project that beautiful glow. Somebody who is confident, somebody who is in charge, somebody who steps up, somebody who handles things, somebody who has the capacity to go out and be very independent and make your own money, and you do not take crap from people. 5 of Pentacles reverse. This is, I think that you don't like people who come to you with stories, like negative stories. You don't need that in your life. And it's probably because you've been there, done that. It's probably because you know, that you have learned to put these boundaries around yourself. You're not going to let people change you. You're going to be kind and trusting and loving, but when there's a hint of manipulation that comes in, swift justice here. And sometimes I think you can get it wrong, but you're just very much protecting yourself. And you're certainly not somebody that people want to cross. We'll put it that way. Justice reverse would suggest that kind of, maybe you don't even let them plead their case. When somebody comes to you with their sob story, and the sob story to me, well, when you get that, it kind of, I mean, you're somebody who can be very generous. However, if something is off, if you detect something off in it, you're not going to get caught up in it. You're just going to be like, nope, cut it out, not going to get involved. I mean, because you can do it. You expect people, like you have pulled yourself up by the bootstraps, as it were, by that meaning, that definition. You have elevated yourself. I feel like you're very self-made. You're self-taught here. You know, it could be very educated, yes, but I mean self-taught in the sense that you keep learning more, you keep achieving more, you keep wanting more, and because you can do it, you feel like other people are capable of it as well. So you're not going to put up with their negative mindsets, and you're not going to let that negative mindset drag you down. That doesn't mean you don't care about people, but you're just not gonna like dwell on it. You're not going to like allow that. So some people really need to have a thick, not necessarily a thick skin to be your friend, but they have to be responsible. They have to be responsible. They have to be, you know, they have to be able to take care of themselves. There's a certain degree of like, you know, things that you'll listen to, but not every single time, not all the time, every time. You're not going to allow somebody to suck your negative energy or to suck your positive energy. You don't, emotional vampires, you don't allow. And that maybe that hasn't always been like that. I think it's more from experience. There's a lot of experience here. There's a lot of been there, done that, know that. And I think people see that about you and want to seek out your advice, but if they don't follow it, like you're done. Like you just don't have time for the crap. You're just like, nope, I'm done. And I do feel like, look at this, blessed. I do feel like that is a very attractive quality. I mean, taking care of yourself is an attractive quality. You need to take care of yourself. You need to, you know, that confidence in yourself. Message in a bottle and blessed. I feel like you do know how blessed you are. I feel like you are grateful for who you are. I feel like you're grateful for the people that you allow in your life. I feel like you, if there's anything that you can improve on, it's telling others how you feel. It's letting them know, not letting things get bottled up. One thing about message in a bottle, like the king, it kind of reminds me of the King of Cups. He's not necessarily here, but the Emperor very much is like the quintessential like father figure, where you don't necessarily show all of your emotions, like they're kind of under the surface. You kind of protect your heart from that. But it doesn't mean, again, it doesn't mean you don't care. You do care about people, but you're more of kind of like that tough love. But you are grateful for what you have. You're grateful for what you've built. You're grateful for, again, the people that you have around you, because you don't just let anybody in. Not just everybody gets an invitation to come and hang out with you, good one. And let's see, one more card here, or two more. Owl spirit and dolphin spirit. So I love the owl spirit. I see clearly now, very much wisdom, very much speaks to, and dolphins, very intelligent. So you're smart. There's some intelligence here underneath the surface. This and that are true. You know what? I almost had the feeling when we have Bastet and Circe about a duality. You could be a Gemini, or at least have some strong Gemini placements, or at least see, you know, be able to see this and that. It is true that you can be very, very caring and loving and still like show tough love. So that's interesting that the dolphin comes out here. It is true that you can be very, very confident, but still expect a lot, or very, very confident. What I was going to say is very, very playful, but still expect a lot out of others. You have like you have very high standards. High standards, again, because I feel like you have been through a lot. I feel like you have survived a lot, and it has brought you, like, every lesson that comes your way, like you see these lessons as something to be grateful for because it makes you a stronger person. You're that type of person who's like, bring it on, I can take it. Whatever doesn't kill me makes me stronger. Doesn't mean you're not like hurting sometimes. It doesn't mean that you don't feel things. You very, very much feel things. You might feel things a little bit too much, which is why you put those barriers around your heart, which is why you put those boundaries in place. But you are somebody who will enforce your boundaries with good reason, because in the past, I think that you haven't. I think that you have allowed certain things and you have gotten hurt. And again, you've learned from that. You've probably somebody who maybe in a past relationship covered all the bills because you were in love, and it put a little ding on your credit. So then you worked really, really hard to recover from those things. And you have worked really, really hard to, I think you can be pretty blunt at times, telling people how it is. You don't necessarily sugarcoat things. And again, it's because the tough love thing, like you do it because you love other people, you do it because you want better for them than maybe that their standards are for themselves at the moment, and because you can see what they can do. Like you probably have higher standards for the people around you than they have for themselves. And with good reason, because you, again, have been through that. It doesn't mean that you're old, because you can get through a lot of things pretty young. And you might be older, you might be seasoned, but you also might be somebody who's been called like an old soul. But you can be very, very playful. It's just that you're not a game player, though. You don't play with people's hearts. You don't allow people to play with your heart. So that's what I have for you, Group 1. I hope that you have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, Group 2. If you picked the Carnelian Agate heart, you are in the right place, and there's a little bit of druzy there, so crystals inside. I feel like that's important. I feel like, because there's so many different colors in here, but I think that you've got some surprises inside of you as well. Some beautiful energy that you only let certain people see, but you show hints of it, and a lot of sparkle. Catrin, she's a Welsh goddess or sorceress. Not sure how they define her in the Welsh tradition. She's got a pot here. She makes potions. So the modern day interpretation of this would be like a kitchen witch. So somebody who is, I feel like you're good at cooking. You have the ability and the capacity, maybe not always the desire, but she did make a potion and it took her a year to make it. So I feel like if you are so inclined, and she did it because she wanted to find out information about her son. So I feel like you would do that for your family and friends. You would definitely, like, if you have people coming over, you would feel really honored to be able to make a meal with love for them. And maybe a little bit of perfectionism. There's also an element of shape-shifting. She can shape-shift and move. I love the kind of like smoke coming off here. Malleable in different situations. I feel like different people know different versions of you. So let's see what else we get. Ooh, the Hierophant with an owl. So you might be somebody who has a lot to teach other people. And somebody, I'm almost getting some homebody vibes here when I said the cooking here and the reading here. Let's see what else comes out. introvert. What else do we have for group 2? What else makes them beautiful? What else makes group 2 beautiful? Ooh, friends. So you do have a tight-knit friend group. I think you're somebody who does like to go and have fun. Wheel of Fortune and Page of Cups reverse. So I think the Page of Cups reverse is coming in to tell me that, yeah, even though you do really kind of like let loose with your friends, it's because you need to trust people to do that, to allow people in. There is an element though of Wheel of Fortune is a card of karma. You've got wheels turning here in this Wheel of Fortune. So in karma it talks about cycles, but I think in this instance, I mean, look at, like, it's even the same colors here as the Carnelian. And what I was saying about that, like, opening up, that you've got something underneath there going on. You've got those wheels grinding. I think you're somebody who probably grinds a lot. And in a lot of different situations, I think you're somebody who has, like, the wheels are always turning in your head. You're always coming up with new ideas and new ways to do whatever you set your mind to. It's probably because that's, why people see you over here as the Hierophant. They see you as somebody to go to for wisdom. They see you as somebody to go to who knows things, who can help them out. I think with the Page of Cups reversed, I think that you have a hard time with people who are a little bit immature. I think you like people who are on your same level. I think you do really like to connect to people, but I think you have a close-knit connection with friends. And I do think that this introvert kind of thing, you will go out and have fun, but it's with people that you trust. You need to trust them. You need to know them. Because you don't reveal yourself for just anybody, but the people that you do reveal yourself for, like, it's special. It's very special when you reveal yourself. Just thinking about seeing if anything else comes in regards to karma. I'm almost like, I don't think that you're somebody who thinks you need to punish other people. I think that you believe in karma and you just, leave it up to the universe. You don't necessarily need to take steps into your own hands. Caridwen, there's a certain thing about karma and karmic cycles within her story. When she shapeshifted, she ate a grain of, I want to say a grain of rice, but I think it was corn. But anyway, somebody else had shapeshifted into corn and she wanted to punish them, and she went and ate them up and became impregnated with them, and they reincarnated as her son. So yeah, there's cycles here. But I feel like Caridwen would learn something from that, or, yes, you set out intentions, but you set the intentions out with being a good person because you do believe in karma, and what's for you is for you. You might be somebody who says that, or at least that resonates for you. And then Caridwen also is somebody who is a big reader, a lot of knowledge, a lot of reading here. Like, how to go and find information. It's so weird to me, and probably is weird to you too. This is why this is coming up. How in the age of the internet, when we have Google, how many people just cannot Google stuff, right? But you're somebody who can go and find your own information, and I think there is a certain level of you want data. You're very much about data. You're very much about show me. You'll believe it when you see it, but it needs to be logical for you. You need to go the distance. and chaos and conflict. Okay. Interesting. So it's interesting that both of these cards, we have animals on them. I'm going to pull some animal cards, see if we get some cross references here. This chaos and conflict card, I was going to say, like, go the distance. You see how like the spots are kind of like flying off this cheetah. And then this conflict and chaos card, we get a zebra that's in giraffe clothing. And still, when I said about the Carnelian, the Wheel of Fortune, the whole revealing yourself. You will reveal yourself to people who can go the distance. Will reveal yourself to people who are like finishers, who are maybe serious, who go that distance, who finish that race. Bum glue is coming up. If you, that's kind of like a message for me. I read this years and years and years ago. And it was somebody who was writing a novel, but they also wanted to do it might be somebody who runs and, or who likes those races, but in like the bigger picture, like a marathon, and this will make sense what bum glue means here in a second. I know that's kind of out there. It's coming in because it reminds me of the story of this writer who wanted to run a marathon and then getting into the marathon. And it's kind of like mind over matter, that your mind will tell you, you know, you can stop at any time, you can do, you know, but you're somebody who goes the distance. You're somebody, and they went up to other racers and they would say something to them to kind of like try to intimidate them to quit, and then that would empower them. And they met somebody else who was like, they said, what is it, you know, they're like, do you really think you're going to finish the race? And they're like, yeah. And they were hurting too. And they're like, why do you think that? And they said, bum glue. And what that means is like, they're going to sit there. They're going to put their butt in that seat. And this might be something along with writing, some writing and reading. You might be a writer. You need to finish things, and you do finish things, but it means that they're going to act as if like there's glue on their butt and glue themselves to that seat, and with sheer will finish something, because it feels really good to finish something, even if it's hard. And you may not be the fastest, even though that has the cheetah on there, but that's okay. Finishing is what's important. And then this chaos and conflict, again, just a reiteration of this, like revealing yourself to people who matter, people who deserve it. And you're the one who decides if they deserve it or not. You're the one who will reveal yourself. And it's something really special too when you reveal your inner, because I feel like you're a little bit guarded, with reason. Maybe too many people have come to you with these like grand gestures and just have not finished that race, for you to be taken in very easily. I don't think you're somebody who's taken in easily at all. But chaos and conflict, I don't think that's something that you like. I don't think that you're a drama person. Again, with like this Wheel of Fortune, that you don't engage and you let that drama go. That flipped over. Time to let go. Groundhog Spirit. As soon as I said you let that drama go, you let go. You let go of things that just don't serve you. That's amazing. And then the Bee Spirit, back here to what I was saying about the bum glue and the going the distance. Sweet results await. Like, you get it. Like the work itself, you don't mind putting in the work. You don't mind working hard. You don't mind it because you are somebody who can be very, very focused, and you're very hardworking. Wow, Midwest. I don't know if you're from the Midwest or like that Midwest work ethic. So for some of you from the Midwest and have that Midwest work ethic, or if you're not, I think people may mistake you as that, or see your work ethic like that kind of down to earth, that old fashioned kind of work ethic. You're not willing, you're willing to put in the time, you're willing to put in the work. You're not a prima donna about it. You're not worried that it's gonna mess up your hands or your clothes or your nails or your hair. If it needs to be done, you just get it done. Now, like, you may not always want to start it, but you could do it. It's not above you. Even if you are in sometimes an elevated position, like over here with the Hierophant, like if you're somebody who is a professor or a teacher or something, but if you need to clean your room, you clean your room. You get it, like you're down to earth. It's not like you expect people to do things for you because you're at some sort of achievement or elevated level. So very interesting group too, and that's what I have for you today. So if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. If you like this, please give it a like, and I will do more readings like this. Otherwise, I will see you in the next reading. Thanks. Hello, group 3. If you picked the Caribbean Calcite, you are in the right place. Let's just put that over here with the number 3, and let's see what came out for you. We've got Athena and we've got Persephone. So I was only going to pull one of these cards. That was the intent, but 2 came out, and it looks like you're really embracing this Greek goddess thing going on. That's okay if you're a divine masculine. That's okay. We're just looking at the qualities of these goddesses and comparing them to the qualities that you have within yourself as well. And but like with Athena, she's the goddess of war, right? Where the god of war is Aries. So, but she's just does things in a softer way, has a softer side, so it's more strategic and certainly has that wisdom behind it and is very calculating. So these are like qualities that I think people see in you as well. It's really interesting, like all of the groups so far have had like an owl come out, have had wisdom come out, have had this like intelligence. So I'm wondering if you guys are kind of doubting yourself, and I'm here to tell you you shouldn't doubt yourself. It's really interesting. What is that saying about I almost think it's Mark Twain who said something about like the problem is that idiots don't doubt themselves and intelligent people do. Paraphrasing there, but that's if you have a problem, that's your problem. You're being confronted with too many people who are just not thinking things through, or who are just not, you're like, what the heck is going on? And then we have Persephone. So Persephone is the goddess of spring, and she is also the goddess of the underworld. So she has this like duality going on, and there's legends about that where Hades fell in love with her and drug her down to the underworld, and her mother Demeter wouldn't allow anything to grow while she was in the underworld, and how she had to be returned each spring. She is very, I feel like you're very down to earth. I feel like you're very grounded. It's funny. I just was like, down to earth. Yeah, like so down to earth. You're inside the earth here with Persephone in the underworld. But I think you're somebody who can be very practical. I think you're, and maybe that's, you're definitely, I have that in another image of a meme in my head, the I see dumb people, with the, you know, if you get it, you get it, I guess. If you know, you know. So, yeah, I feel like sometimes you just, I don't know, maybe you're engaging a lot with, like maybe you have a job where you have to engage with the general public, but and you're probably somebody who has like an above average intelligence. So it can be kind of painful for you to deal with that. But I think that you can do it very gracefully. You just maybe rant to your friends, to people who are around you. I think you have like a sense of humor around that as well, because I just have like this sense of joy and funniness. But you are somebody who can take on some pretty difficult tasks. You're somebody who can you accomplish many things, basically anything that you put your mind to. You might be somebody who's a parent. I have that, or at least a loved aunt or uncle here. Somebody who can be creative, loves to create things, loves to see things grow. And you might be interested in plants, like I'm interested in plants here when we have Persephone come out. We have the World, and then Six of Wands pops out too. I think you're very internal, so Persephone would indicate that as well. Somebody who is not going to make rash judgments, and you know, you might be afraid of water, you might be afraid of travel, which is something you should probably look into, because it's funny, we've got the Three of Wands reversed, and that's why I'm saying that. Like, the Three of Wands is ready to go out and embark on adventures. But you're certainly capable of doing that if you want to. I just, it just seems like maybe it's something too bothersome for you to do, or you need to, I don't know, because the Hanged Man here would indicate that you're willing to sit and wait and to think about things. You might be really interested in esoteric ideas, meditation, yoga, things like that. But again, like with the Hanged Man and Athena here, I think you're very calculating in the things that you do. The world is about cycles. So you see it, look, cycles and Persephone, all about cycles. So I think that, you know, you could have a job where you do have like cycles in it. Most on the nose would be like a farmer or a rancher. You know, because you're willing to put in that hard work, you're willing to do things, and again, very practical. I think that would, you know, that hands-on thing, I think that would excite you. And, you know, I think doing things within the realm of the seasons excites you as well. So it doesn't have to be that. I mean, it could be that I said that's just like the most on the nose thing. Even like a cyclist, somebody, because there's like a season to that, or some sort of sports where there's a season to that. So I feel like you do some things that can be very physical, or, you know, the cycles here, very, very seasonal. I think you're somebody who sees patterns and uses those patterns to your advantage. Six of Wands would indicate like, I don't think you're somebody who is easily satisfied. I think that you put in hard work and you understand that, and you just almost like an Energizer bunny, like keep going and going and going. If there's anything that I would fault you on, group 3, is that you should take a moment, maybe here in this Hanged Man here in this meditation, and appreciate your hard work and appreciate all the things that you've done. It's not easy doing that. I think it's easy for you either because you're very practiced at it, or very practical, or you just don't even think about it and you just do it. But I think that what you do would be difficult for other people. It may seem really easy for you. You probably make it look easy, but for other people, it would be very difficult or time consuming, or, you know, they just don't have the brain power or the willpower to do it. I think you're somebody who makes things look easy too. So just because you do it like in the most calculated way, you're like, again, very practical, but almost like an out of the box thinker. Like, you'll look at a situation, sit down for a moment and look at it, and then do it in the most effective and most practical way. And then the Three of Wands here again, like, I'm not sure that travel excites you. I think that you make your vacation where you are. You might be somebody who does staycations, somebody who appreciates, because you work really hard to make your environment what it is. I also think that you really like, again, the greenery is coming up, but then the birds, you know, hummingbird and owl, and then all these little birds here. I bet you have a bird feeder. If you don't, I think that you would really like it. I think that that was something that you would really enjoy. So what else do we have? Treasure Island. Yeah, you're somebody who creates abundance. You're not a work, and you might be somebody who other people would say, oh, it must be nice. Like they see you, they see your abundance, they see what you create. Look at that, round and round. We'll get to that in a second. They see what you create, they see, and you make it look easy. So they think that it is easy, but it's not. I'm almost getting some stock market vibes, that you might play stocks, or you might, you invest in stocks, or part of your wealth and creation of wealth comes from investments. It doesn't have to be stocks, but investments. Like you're able to see patterns and pounce on those investments. And it's something that is very easy and practical to you. And again, like this treasure island, you might be somebody who seems like an overnight success, even though you've put years and years and years and years into it. But you don't tell people really how much work you've put into it or how much you've put behind it. Again, you just make it look easy, so they think it's easy. But that's like the greatest mastery of it, right? To make something difficult to look easy. And I think you're somebody who can do that. This is round and round. Again, back to that seasons, back to the year round as the world turns. The round and round, very much related to the world, very much related to Persephone and the seasons, and counting off the years and counting off the season for this, the season for that. Again, those patterns. But I also think that, when we have this round and round card, you see how it spirals here. There's a lot of thought that you put into the things that you do. Like even the shape is very similar to this Athena shape. So while you might think that, oh, because it's a pattern, because it's a season, it's related, that's why I think both of these are here. Very interesting. As I didn't necessarily see the spiral aspect here, but certainly in this owl, we've got the universe, we've got depth, we've got, like, there's a whole depth to you, group 3. And the round and round too, this spiral, like it's you just keep gaining skills and you just keep plugging along and you just keep using them. Like you're somebody who he doesn't let a skill go to waste. Like you pick up a skill over here and then you're able to apply it to other places in your life. You're somebody, I think, a lifelong learner too. Like you're fine with picking up new skills to help you out. And in these seasons and in these patterns, like you evolve with them. Like you're evolving with them. You're not stuck because of certain technology. Like AI, for instance. When artificial intelligence comes along, it's not something, it might scare you initially, but it's something where you're like, wait a second, how can I use this to my advantage? So that would just be one situation for some of you. But if you're not interested in AI, like whatever technologies are coming along in your field, you just look at it and evaluate it and learn from it and grow from it and pick it up and use it. You're somebody who's very useful. And, because I said something about using your hands and being a farmer. So, but you could, if you are in that field, you could see like the potential of something like AI and apply it to your field where other people aren't. Like a very, again, strategic, out of the box thinker, somebody who just keeps evolving as things are evolving. But I don't think that you get caught up in fads. I just think that you will look at things as a tool. Look at things as a way to improve yourself, your situation, your job, that kind of thing. Look at that, vulture spirit, nothing is wasted. Again, very practical, very practical, useful, working, using your hands, creating, very creative. You could also be a graphic artist, something like that, web art, a web designer. Very on the nose again with the spider here. Again, that nothing is wasted, like we were talking about with the round and round. You keep learning new skills, keep using new skills. You figure out how like this thing fits together with this thing and how you can use it in your daily life. And the spider spirit, like spiders work really, really hard. Make your dreams real. You make your dreams reality. You understand how, like, when you plant a seed and you water it, how it can come out to a plant, and then you use that plant and then you make something out of it. I'm getting an image of the little hen who planted the wheat, created the wheat, made the bread. Like, she did all that work, and she's okay doing that work because she knows, like, she can see into the future. She sees her future, and she sees what she can make with things, what she can make with certain things. So she makes money moves here so that later it comes to fruition for her. And again, this nothing is wasted. Down to that practicality, down to that using all of your skills, using all of your resources. If you know somebody who has a thing that you need to use or borrow, like, you have a whole network. Again, kind of like this. You have a network of people, but you're dependable too. Like, they can rely on you, and they can use you, and that's, you have that kind of like reciprocal energy back with other people. So that's what I have for you, group 3. If you like these kinds of readings, please let me know with a comment or a like. I appreciate that you're here. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, group 4, and welcome to your reading. This is the Petrified Coral. And there we go, and I'm just gonna move that out of the way and move the number 4 out of the way. And the first card that comes out for you is Baba Yaga. So she is a Slavic witch. Like the Ukraine, Russia, Poland, that area. She's said to like live in the forest. So I feel like maybe, you like the color green. Green things. You maybe like your solitude as well. Fierceness though, that fierceness. I think you're somebody who maybe at first, you might have your guard up at first. And I'm getting some Scorpio vibes here as well. So, you might have some, if you're Scorpio, or you might have some Scorpio placements. I know there's a lot of people watching these, so not everybody's going to be Scorpio, but certainly some Scorpio qualities, that determination, competitiveness, coming out here. Let's see what else comes out with Baba Yaga. So sometimes she's helpful, sometimes she's not. I think she can see people try to trick her and it doesn't really work. So she can use her intuition. Oh, look at this, the Magician. Use the situation and, really see the core of it. Knight of Wands reversed, 6 of Swords, and 4 of Cups. Okay, so you're not somebody who is afraid to walk away from a situation that doesn't fit you. There's also an element in here of protecting yourself emotionally. If there's any advice here that I could give you, would be that I think people can let you down pretty easily, but I don't know if it's necessarily their intent. They just probably don't understand the depths of your emotions, and that's why I think there is, look at these clouds. So I think that there is sometimes a cloud around you. Not necessarily a cloud, I mean, you put up boundaries for sure. But there's like people may not understand why, or they may not understand, because I think you're sensitive and they don't realize how sensitive you are. And you need to tell them, because I don't think that they mean to upset you or hurt you or harm you, but you don't even give them a chance, right? And inadvertently that ends up kind of like you getting upset more. I think that you know, would come to somebody's aid if you need to, like you're able to see people who deserve it, like that purity of heart, coming to somebody's aid. I don't think you're somebody who, okay, so the Knight of Wands, like he is somebody who gets like super excited about something and then goes off and does it without thinking about it. You think about it. You're not just going to fly off the handle. You're not just going to, you know, you don't wear your emotions on a sleeve. You kind of push that down. The Magician, but you're able to like really create things. And I think people are really mystified by your creations. I think that there could be like, you might be somebody who has chickens. You could be somebody who has that, like if you're not in that setting or not able to, it's not out of the realm of possibility that you're, you know, somebody who would have chickens. I think you're somebody who does like animals, and who likes plants. I'm getting a little bit of I'm getting a lot of bit of introverted vibes here, and I think there's some mystery around you. I think people want to know you more than you're willing to open up. And again, with that mystery, I think that there's a lot, there's mystery, mystique, that people are like drawn to you in that way. But you're really likely to just walk away and not allow them the chance to harm you. So I'm sorry about that, because I feel like, again, I feel like somebody really you gave them your heart and they didn't appreciate it. So you're somebody who, like, when you appreciate somebody else, you expect that back in full. Like, you expect that reciprocity, but it's going to be a minute to get through your shell. It's going to be worth it to somebody who does get through your shell, because over here I almost feel like you're just as likely to hold that umbrella for somebody else as you are to be underneath that umbrella and have somebody hold it for you. I feel like it's really important for you to see the people around you and appreciate them, and maybe give somebody a break. I think that, again, you tap into that Baba Yaga, where I think you are somebody who will test the waters. Like, you'll test maybe somebody's loyalty. If they've proven their loyalty, give them a break here. They deserve it. Get poised. I think that kind of speaks to the quietness a little bit. That poise. Let's see what else comes out. And deep knowing. Look at that. Seriously, every single reading that I've done, an owl has come out. With poised, it suggests that, you know, maybe that exterior you don't really seem like you're happy, but I think you're, you know, happy doing your thing. You're very independent, happy doing your thing. Poised is somebody who's ready to jump into new things. Six of Swords would suggest, you know, moving along and jumping into new things, but it's not a jump. Like, it's very calculated. It's very thought out. It's very much in your favor. Again, the Knight of Wands. So you think about what you're doing. You think about where you're jumping. You think about where you're going, and you do it with confidence, but a quiet confidence. Like this, you know, this jump for joy, I feel like that's more internal, like other people aren't seeing it. They might feel that energy for you. I think they're drawn to that, and it's part of your mystique and your mystery that is kind of put out there. And then this deep knowing, again, I think that It's not necessarily, I mean, once you speak it through, you do make logical choices, but you make choices based on your intuition. If you're looking at a situation and it's not really clear, you have no problem looking at into your intuition, and just have the deep knowing that you're making the right decisions. If you were to think about it and dissect it, you may not make that same decision, but you can be like decisive. You can be almost ruthlessly decisive. Again, you put the thought into it and you're like, yes, because it's not on a whim, it's calculated, but you're not afraid to then do this thing. You're very determined. Like when you set something in your mind that you're going to do it, you do it. Because you're not afraid. There's not this fear of walking away. Like other people would have a fear of leaving something behind. And I think that you're able to let go of things. You're able to let go of jobs. You're even able to let go of people. And it's more about keeping yourself safe. Oh, but the universe is saying that it's time to collaborate. And koi fish, there is always enough. So koi fish talks about abundance. It talks about if you ever get into kind of this realm here where you're walking away or you're kind of feeling a little bit isolated, feeling left out, there's always enough. There's always more for you. That's why I feel like the Six of Swords, like you're not afraid to walk away from a bad situation because you know that you can find a better one. You have confidence in yourself that you can find a better one. I think koi is like is good luck. I think it's a sign of abundance as well. Like you understand you can find abundance, and you're not afraid to try something new. You're not afraid to be like in a job position or a work position where they have promised you certain things. You're not afraid to call them out if it's not happening, and you're not afraid to enforce your boundaries. So if they're not following through with things, you're not afraid to say, okay, then if you can't do this, like you promised me, I'm going to walk away, or I'm going to become unengaged and focus on me and focus on myself. You definitely, like, you have yourself as a priority, which is needed. People need that. But the ant spirit says it's time to collaborate. It's time to work with other people. We have this in the Four of Cups over here, where you have this other person, or this, in this case, goose coming in, kind of like that spirit animal, or that spirit to help you out, to give you a little nudge. But you've got people in your life who are willing to do that too. So if anything, like maybe you're not seeing them. You're not seeing that they're looking at you and seeing how confident you are and wanting to work with you. So I think this reading here is like, you may feel isolated and lonely, but there are other people who are like, you know what, this person has it together. This person seems like they know what they're doing. This person seems like they have confidence. This person seems like they act in a way, act with wisdom. They seem like they really can create things, and I really want to get to know them. You have people who would love to get to know you more. You have people who would love to work with you more. You have people who want to build things with you. And you know what? You might be somebody who attracts a lot of potential partners. You might be somebody who, like, even if you're in a relationship, other people are kind of like, hey, how are you doing? because I feel like you do project like that confidence, that energy out there where people are like, yeah, I want to meet them. I think they would be a great partner, because you have that, you carry yourself with that mystery, that magic, that confidence. And they're like, I want to get to know that person. Really want to see what they're all about. I want to work with them. So if you are in like an industry where like consulting or sales, like because you project that confidence, you attract people who want to work with you. So that's great. That's lovely. And that's what I have for you. So if you like these kinds of readings, please let me know. Like or share or subscribe or whatever. Leave a comment and I will do more of them. Thank you so much, Group 4, and I will see you in the next reading.